You're listening to the Ecosystem Approach show. I'm Jason.
And I'm Patricia.
We discovered that human potential is severely limited when you program humans like a machine, which is standard practice today for self-improvement.
The Ecosystem Approach teaches you how to uncover your infinite potential by using natural methods that are truly revolutionary. Join us now for the Ecosystem Approach show. This is Jason and Patricia Rome for the Ecosystem Approach, talking about our preview for this week's show. The Dark Energy Master Plan and what's the hidden truth behind trauma and struggles.
This is a big show for us. You know, when Bashar, Abraham, and Seth came to us and said, "We've been waiting for you," this is the culmination of that.
Yes.
So just to review, remember, Bashar, Abraham, and Seth all were basically saying the same thing, and they've been doing this for a long time.
Well, we counted it. It's more than 60 years.
Oh, yeah. It's a long time.
Yes.
And they came forward to tell humans on Earth that they could create their own reality,
right,
among other things. But
yes,
that was the basics. Yes. That was the core.
Yes.
And many people have tried and failed because of the obvious question. Mm-hmm. Why would I create this reality for myself?
Yeah.
And it's a valid question.
Yes.
And we were the ones that they knew that we understood why the message that they had been delivering wasn't working here on Earth, and that we had actively been removing or working with our own evolution, and they could see it on the other side.
Yes.
So when they say, "We've been waiting for you," it's because they saw what we were doing and knew that this was the missing piece.
Correct.
So if you've heard our show before, you've heard about this story. Mm-hmm. But so many people have been stuck because they say, "Why would I create this reality for myself?" And then there's another camp
that says,
well, they've adjusted their belief about their reality.
Yes.
And created that an intention that they settled for in their life.
Correct.
That wasn't really what they truly wanted, or was something that organically came from who they were.
Exactly. In other words, it wasn't their purpose for being here.
Yes.
And that people get a lot of things confused. And so, but the show that we're doing about the Dark Energy Master Plan is the detail about that missing piece. It's so important to understand that and understand how we have the ecosystem approach that helps you remove that dark energy master plan directly from yourself, so you can gain clarity about what you actually want, or you can gain clarity, and you can gain clarity about what your purpose is.
Part of the problem is that we're focused on the rules of accomplishment.
Yes.
And accomplishment in the world today is heavily distorted.
I would say jaded.
Mm-hmm. And so we try and look at evolution through the lens of accomplishment, and that's not the way you do it. And of course, it's a complicated question. We're not going to talk about that here. But the question that comes up when you think about dark energy,
correct,
is what's the motive?
Yeah, what is the dark motive?
I've had people ask me that all the time. So,
yes.
Okay, you've been clearing the dark energy, but what's their motive? What are they trying to do?
Yeah.
And
why is this so important?
Exactly.
Yes.
And because we know that using the ecosystem approach, when you know the motive, you can take the power out of whatever's happening to you in your life. And I think this is a big deal. We came up with a metaphor to describe your soul.
Yes.
We call it essence. We use the word essence. We don't like to use the word soul, but that's whatever you want to call it. We came up with a metaphor so we could break down that cloud of energy that's our soul into bits of life force, and we arbitrarily chose 100 bits.
Well, it's easy for people to, I'm going to say, add and subtract.
Exactly.
So to speak.
And then we converted those bits into employees.
Yes.
So you can think of your essence, your soul, as a company headquarters, 10 stories with 100 employees.
Right.
And those employees are broken down into good employees and bad employees.
Correct.
Now, we're going to explain in detail how those employees can get together and create all the struggle, challenges, pain, trauma that you have in your life.
And I'm going to jump in and say they even, more often than not, create the illusion or the veil that keeps you personally from seeing what your actual authentic purpose is.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, what does that mean? And so I'm going to say, join us to hear what we have to say. Jason and I have been researching this for over 25 years, and we have some amazing information about it all.
We have a lot to say about it.
Yes,
and
we do.
What's interesting, and I tried to do this the other time, it wasn't the last show, but the show before.
Okay.
And I created a visual.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And I'm doing that for this too. And it's not complicated. It's not
actually
fancy,
very
resolute.
simplistic,
Yes.
but it gives you an idea of what you're up against.
We've had people say, well, when you showed me the pictures, I kind of get it now.
Yes, yes.
I get it with more clarity than I ever have before.
Right.
And when you start to see how the dark energy works in your life, and you see that, your ability to start to remove it, to have power over it so that you're in control,
Right.
And not that.
Well, and one of the biggest comments I get often is, thank you for this session, because I feel so much lighter than when we started.
Yes.
Now, that in itself is so big because, I mean, we're just removing negative energy. Some could say, well, you're just removing negative energy. But the bottom line is that if people are actually feeling lighter, that says something about what we're doing.
Well, and when you can see this with clarity, then you start to look at your life and say, okay, where has the dark energy been?
Yes.
So whether you're 20 or whether you're 80,
That's right.
you can say, oh, well, how did that happen? And then you can start getting a picture of how that happens. Of course, it's all intuitive, and there's no that works in the way we're using this. But then you have the tool. And that's the big part of this.
It is. That is the biggest part.
It's one thing to say, okay, well, this is what it is, but most of us don't give the right tools. And the tools that are being used do exactly the opposite of what it's supposed to do to get rid of that negative energy.
Exactly.
It's a big, big deal.
It really is. And the other thing is that in doing this, in using the tool of the ecosystem approach, you will be able to look at your life and see how that dark energy has affected you and how it's lied to you and cheated you and
created health conditions
and kept you stuck in
divorce,
anger, hate, jealousy. Oof.
The people that say, how come I keep picking the wrong guy?
Oh, yeah.
Or, I've got cancer. I'm afraid that it's going to have a reoccurrence.
Yes.
Or how come I can't ever seem to have any money? Or why am I always a day late and a dollar short? Those questions are going to be. We're going to get started at answering those.
There you go.
Those
and there
questions.
Are so many things that I know people actually want to know. And they're trying to figure it out, and they can't figure out why they can't figure it out. And because I know a lot of smart people. I know a lot of people high up in many, many, many places, and they shake their head and say, how come you know this about me, Patricia, and I don't?
So be sure and watch the show. The full version, the link's going to be below.
Yes.
And this is Jason and Patricia Roan talking about the ecosystem approach.
Join us.
Thank you for listening to the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia. I'm Patricia. Tune in every week as we discuss practical ways to apply the ecosystem approach and develop your potential to live your life on your terms. For more information, visit our website at theecosystemapproach.org.